Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you in love? Hi, this is Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today's episode is all about how to fall in love with your home.
Sometimes it's hard to fall in love. Sometimes it's hard to fall out of love when you have to leave a home, but falling in love with your home is definitely achievable. It is unlike a lot of goals that people might have in their lives. Like, I am never going to be a professional singer, but boy, that would be fun. But I can certainly love the home that I'm living in. I think it has so much to do with your attitude adjustment, of course, following our tips here on Decorating Tips and Tricks, and honing your design skills. But really, I think the most important key to falling in love and staying in love with your home is your attitude and your perspective. And we're going to talk so much about that today. And we're going to give you some tips and advice on how you can do a few simple things to enhance your home and make it even more lovable. And we're also going to touch on something that is really destructive and would prevent you from falling in love or make you change your mind about being in love with your home, is the really terrible, dreaded comparison trap. The hashtag yours is better than mine mindset. So we want to avoid that at all costs, but really going to talk about attitude and perspective with regard to your home today. And I think everybody after listening is going to feel better about their space.
So true. And I'm thinking of that old song, Love the One You're With. You know that song?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So love the home you're with. And I think you are so right, Kelly. It has to do with the mindset. Mother Teresa said that some of the happiest people she knew had the least reason to be happy. So just because your house isn't perfect or it's not the one you want to be in is not an excuse for you not to be happy or for you not to appreciate the good parts about your house. Well, try to think about what drew you to this house in the beginning. Now, if the thing that drew you to it was cheap because it was run down, this exercise might not work. But for most of us, I loved the neighborhood. I loved the bones of the house. It had beautiful cabinetry or something like that.
Yeah, or even the way the light came through the window or something. There may have been something that really struck you when you first saw the home that you're currently in. And for those of us that did not experience love at first sight, it can still be more of a slow burn, like a slow warm up, and you can grow to love the home that you're in because maybe you purchased the home and it was based on compromise. So much of your love affair might have to be aligning yourself with the compromise, right? So there's like good long-term relationships, marriages, and other types of relationships. You have to compromise now and again. So maybe you didn't get the home of your dreams. Maybe you didn't get the home that made your heart flutter and you experienced love at first sight with. Maybe you got one that was in your price range, that was in a good school district, and it's really not architecturally what you want. But there are ways to grow to love your home. And what's the point of hating the place you're in? Because as Anita said, kind of it's love the one you're with. Now, of course, we wouldn't say that if you were in a bad marriage or relationship. We say, hey, you know what? There might be other fish in the sea. But once you've committed, you've purchased a home, or you've rented a space and a place to live, the tendency is to stay there for a little while. So why not try to look at it with loving eyes, right? And find the good qualities about it. Yeah, do what Anita said. Go back to when you first saw it and what made you feel good about it. Or think about the good things in the compromise that you had to make to get it. Well, That's a good school district. That's a great thing. Maybe it's a ranch that you don't like the architecture in. Not that we don't like ranches. I'm just saying perhaps you don't and you're in one. Or there's something else you don't like about the house. But there are going to be good things about it. And today we're going to highlight all those possibilities and then tell you how to do a little tweak here and there.
That's right. And another thing to think about to help you fall in love with your house again is to think about what visitors like about your house. When people come over to your house, what is it that they say about it? And hopefully it's a positive thing. Usually it is. And I think about my house when people come in, the thing that they seem to all notice are the ceiling beams in my kitchen. So that seems to be what everyone likes about my house. So that's something to think about that my house has that most houses don't have. And there's probably something about your house that when people come in, they say, wow, what a beautiful view. Or, oh, I love, I don't know, fill in the blank. Maybe you have some nice tall ceilings. Maybe you have a cute little nook here or there that people notice.
Right. Or maybe your home just gives us this vibe where it feels really good to be in it. I once had a compliment given to me about a home, my prior home, that it felt like it was giving you a hug. Now, there was so much about that house that I really didn't like. I did love it in general, but there were particulars I didn't like. But I always hung on to that compliment because I thought that was just so important. If that could make a relative stranger feel like that in my house, then I was on the right track, and that house deserved a lot of love. And I like what Anita's saying, like, look at your home with the eyes of someone who doesn't live there, who doesn't own it, who isn't thinking, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I really should add this and I really should add that, and oh, that doesn't look good. Look at it with the eyes of an objective visitor, and you'll see much more positive things than you would if you're using your critical eye. Now, just this morning, now, I knew we were doing this episode today. I was prepared for it. I'd been thinking about what does it mean to fall in love with your home and stay in love with your home for several days. And someone came to my house to fix the water softener. We've had a lot of little things like that needing to get fixed. And the gentleman came up and he said, oh, I have to tell you, I looked up your house on, I guess, Google Maps or something. And I said, oh my gosh, I love this house. And I, instead of saying, well, thank you so much, and you know I do love my house very much, but I started saying things like, oh, well, but the porch is so dirty because he had to come up across the porch to get there. And so sorry about that. And, oh, the garden's looking a little rough because a lot of hot weather and we're in a drought. And I'm giving all excuses as to why the house shouldn't be loved or doesn't look great. Now, like, why am I doing that? I love my house. He's expressing that he loves my house. Let's make it positive. Stop seeing, in my case, the dirty porch or the wilty plants or what have you. Fill in the blank for your own house. The lack of square footage or the ugly wall-to-wall carpeting or something like that. Stop seeing the negative and start seeing the positive.
Oh, great. I've got people coming Saturday. I forgot the porch. Now I've got to clean the porch.
No, but look at it in their eyes. They're going to say, this is a beautiful porch. Oh my gosh, look at how great this looks. Look at your front door. It's so beautiful. Because we can be our harshest critics for ourselves and our homes.
Well, we know where the bodies are buried. We know that there's a stain on the countertop in X place. We know that the baseboard is scratched over here. But when someone comes into your house, they're not going to notice those things. And you know what? Let's just not focus on them. I mean, I know for some people it's easier than for others, but I think it's worth making an effort to not focus on those things, but to think about what is positive about your house.
Okay, Anita, so how can we spill a little love potion number 9 on anybody's house that isn't getting the love that it deserves? Do you have some specific tips on some things that everyone can do?
I guess I would say some of this is specific to your home because sometimes it's just a specific thing. Like, you know, that sink drips and it drives you nuts and you can't even focus on and loving your house because of that drip. If that's the case, get it fixed. Just get the plumber over there and get that taken care of. It's worth it. So I think part of this is figuring out what it is about your house that you personally don't like and seeing if there isn't some sort of fix for it.
that's a great place to start, because there might be little nagging things that can be easily fixed, and make a list and get some people over there. It may cost you a little bit, but it's at the end of the day, you're going to have to get it fixed anyway. And if it's tugging at you and it's draining the love from you that you could be showering on your house, and therefore making yourself feel better, right? So, obviously the house is an inanimate object. But I think it might know if you love it a little bit, right? But it's how you're going to feel inside, that you feel good about the place that you call home. And that's what's so important. And that's why we felt it was really important to do this episode. So get those things fixed. What I would say as well is, if something's not fixable, it's a quirk, it's kind of a weird imperfection, or it's something that's just out of the budget to fix right now, we'll try to embrace it, right? So if there's something a little off about your house, for example, when we bought our little house out in Southampton, okay, it was what we could afford. We couldn't believe we could get such a pretty piece of property for that price, that amount of money at that time. But the house, I have to tell you guys, it was ugly. Like, it was just an ugly little house.
Oh, on the outside?
Yes.
Oh,
but
boy.
That's
why you got it for that price then.
Exactly. But and the property was beautiful. But when I look back on our 6 years in that house, I have such love and affection for that house. Now, we had a lot of friends come to that house. So we have a lot of great memories wrapped in that house, and we did a lot of the work ourselves. So I'm sure in the moment, a lot of it was hard and frustrating and whatnot, but I know we had a really wonderful chapter in our lives in that house, right? But the outside of it was this very unfortunate 80s type of architecture, 2 pointed roof lines, and then like the entryway dropped down, and I tried to make it look cottagey. There was just no way to ever do that. But we made it lovely inside. The outside shape was what it was. I couldn't turn it into a historic looking home. I couldn't turn it into even a ranch. I certainly couldn't turn it into a farmhouse look. But we went with it. And I tried to accentuate what was great about the house, because it had these weird roof lines. It also had randomly placed skylights. So the natural light was amazing in that house. So I tried to really just embrace that and highlight that. And we did painting, we painted the cabinets. So we did everything that you could do sort of on the cheap, DIY, cosmetically inside. And I loved that house. I have to say, we've had a lot of houses. We just moved a lot in our lifetime, but that might be number 2 to this house. And you know, Anita, how I feel about this house. So it is right up there. We tried to embrace the natural light there. And I would encourage you, even if there's just, so much could be done, so much should be done, whatnot, carve out a little space. Create a special little corner or nook. Maybe for you and your kids, or you and your significant other, or maybe just for you. Just a place that you can go. Find where the light is best. Find where it's coziest. Pull up a chair, a little side table. You maybe don't even have to buy anything new. Just pull things from other areas in your house. And even if you can just have one little area and you can look out the window from there, or, put a hummingbird feeder outside that window if you're lucky enough to have this little nook near a window, and just enjoy that one little space. And that is a way to start your love affair with a house that maybe really needs a lot and isn't in the position to be loved right now.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so true. And then you can enjoy that particular space. And that does remind me of my decorating approach in general. And that is to take one room at a time. So if you hate the house, if you feel like you don't like it, and you feel like you don't even know where to start, then just start with one room. Just fix up one room. So there's one room you can go to that is just the way you want it. And I was just thinking about our farm, and I don't know. It was like you said, it was kind of feeling stale, and I was just kind of ready to do something. It just felt, nah. And I bought sheets and pillows. That's it for the girls' bedroom. That's all I did. and I folded up the duvet, and I put the new sheets on the bed, and I put these colorful pillows on the beds, and voila. I mean, it feels all fresh and new, and I kind of fell in love with the house again. I think there's a lot of things like that you can do that it was not a big expense. I'm talking sheets and pillows, but it made a massive change to the room. So there may be something. We've always talked about the transformative power of pillows. That is an inexpensive thing you can do to just about any room, and it's going to make it feel better.
Oh, yeah. I checked out your Instagram photos on that. It looks fantastic. I love how you work in that room, and you keep the foundational pieces all the same, and then you change it up. But now and again, when you feel like you need a refresh, and I bet you liked walking into the doorway and just looking at the room after you did it, right? Because it makes you feel really good. Yeah, I can picture that. Anita said the transformative power of pillows. Well, do not ever underestimate the transformative power of paint.
Yes.
Yeah, a gallon of paint. I mean, even if you go to the top of the line, you're talking maybe $85 for Benjamin Moore Aura or something like that. But you don't even have to get to up there. You can just have a mid-range gallon of paint, $45, something like that, and a paintbrush, and go to town. Whether it's walls that need it, or your trim is all scuffed up, or you just hate the color that maybe you moved into or that you had picked, and like we're saying, just needs a refresh. Get to it. You can paint. I mean, having a professional paint job is probably better unless you're very meticulous and you really take your time. But there's so many videos or tutorials out there on the internet on how to paint. You might feel so much better about a room or even just a piece of furniture, or goodness gracious, even your kitchen cabinets, if you were able to just slap on some fresh paint. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
But I think there's a lot of people that have a kitchen that they don't like the countertop or the backsplash. And you know what? You can paint both of those too. It really depends on the backsplash, but I have seen so many backsplashes fixed with paint and so many countertops where they've done a faux marble or a faux soapstone look. Now you can no longer, if it's granite, you're not going to be able to put anything hot on it anymore. You're going to need to protect it. But the look was gorgeous, and I'm thinking about doing that at our farm.
I know you don't like that countertop at the farm.
No, I don't. So, but this is something you can do that is not a big expense. And there's plenty of videos on it. There's a lot of things you can do. But I think that sometimes it's the kitchen a lot of times that people really don't like about their house.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of paint you do on the countertop?
Well, that's actually an episode coming up. So you're going to have to listen for that.
I guess I got to get ready for that. You have to handle that portion. Okay. The power of decluttering. Let's just say with the positive power. We cannot emphasize this enough. If you don't love your house, maybe it's just because you got too much stuff in it and you can't get around the rooms and it just doesn't feel welcoming. So power of decluttering, power of removal, you can think about it the same way. Or just shifting things around. Maybe one room could use something and the other room has too much stuff in it if you're not ready to get rid of something. But that really will impact a room positively. If there's too much stuff in it and you spend the time to declutter it, you're going to be happier. And then you're going to be able to shower more love on that home, which it deserves.
You would not think just getting rid of stuff would make you happier. But I cannot tell you how much happier I was with my home when I got rid of stuff. I went through and decluttered from the top to the bottom. I started at one end of the house and I went through, just like I said, room by room, and I completely decluttered the house. It needs to be done again, but it really did refresh the house. It made me feel better. I could find things. I knew where things were. When I opened the closet, things didn't fall out on me anymore. I wasn't having a hard time closing the door because there was so much stuff behind it that I couldn't quite get it shut. It's amazing how just simple stuff like that, getting rid of that extra stuff, makes you so much happier. It de-stresses the house for you, and a house that you feel like does not have enough storage suddenly has enough storage because you got rid of the stuff that you're not using. And I was listening to some old episodes, Kelly, and your voice was ringing in my head saying, if you've got 5 of something, maybe you just need 1 or 2 of them, like pocket knives or excess pillow inserts or, extra bedspreads or something. No, we're not dishes. We're not talking about dishes.
No, that's excluded.
That is an excluded category. But everything else, I think you can have too much.
We can give everyone one excluded category if you must, right? But yeah, you don't need 12 packing tapes.
I think I have 12 packing tapes, and I think I have 6 measuring tapes. But I have the small size and then the big size.
Oh, okay.
Like for measuring a piece of furniture or for measuring a room. But I think I can go down. I think I can get rid of. I'm thinking about it.
Well, you did it and you were hardcore about it. And now you're saying it could use it again. But when you go back to do it again, the task is not going to be as overwhelming and take as long as it did, right? So you're keeping up with it. And I mean, Anita says, things are falling out or whatever. But I mean, you guys know what her house looks like. So all of her stuff, she might have 12 of something, but it's behind closed doors. Now, that's hard too, because you've got to make the time to do that kind of work because it's really not right in your way and sort of stopping you from living your life. You have to say, okay, I'm going to tackle this closet today, the next closet. It's great to do, and it will make you feel better about your house. But if I'm talking and we're talking to anybody out there who's got visible clutter and extra stuff in their rooms that you're actually seeing every day, that is a big stressor. That does sap your energy. That does prevent you from loving your home. Every time you walk in the door, you're like, oh, gosh, it's not relaxing. It's causing you more stress. You don't want that. You can't love something that is causing you stress and making you not relax. You need to create an environment that is peaceful for you and that you can love. So if it's as easy, and I say easy, it's not always easy. Letting go of things is not always easy. And we understand that. We have excluded categories even, and we love our stuff. But when the stuff is taking away from your enjoyment of the home, then it's time for that stuff to go. And you are going to be happy when it's gone. So let's talk about this thing that is really destructive. And everyone who is on social media or anyone who walks around their neighborhood, anybody can fall into this trap. And it's the comparison trap. So if you're doing that, whether it's your friend in the neighborhood or the hundreds of Instagram accounts you might be following, or the blogger whose blog you read, but doesn't really make you feel good after you read it, because you're not just enjoying what they're showing you, you're comparing what they're doing or their little squares or their house or their this or their that to what you've got, right? So the hashtag mine is not as good as yours kind of mentality is really destructive. And you could live in your dream house, whatever that is. But if you are letting your mind go there, then you're not going to be happy in your home. And it's going to filter into other aspects of your life. The first step in changing your mindset is recognizing it. So maybe you don't even realizing you're doing it. And I know Anita can speak to this as well. I mean, we've been online, we've been putting ourselves out there for many years, and there are a lot of other people putting themselves out there. And if you spend the time, and I know I went down that very negative rabbit hole in various times in my online career or in my life, where you're comparing yourself to someone else, that doesn't make you feel good. It also doesn't make you better at anything you're doing. And it just saps your energy and makes you unable to love where you're at.
And it is so easy to be comparing your house. It's so easy to, like you said, feel less than, and you're not your house. You're not your house. Your house is the place that you live. But if your kitchen doesn't look as good as somebody else's, that is not a reflection on who you are. If it's not perfect, it's okay. It's okay. All these kitchens are going to look dated 20 years from now.
I love that, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we know, and you know too, that these are photographs, right? And oftentimes in tiny little forms that you're seeing on your phone, right? You have no idea what's going on in the rest of that house. You have no idea what's going on in that person's life. You have no idea whether or not sponsors donated all of this stuff that they're getting, and that they didn't have a team of people putting it together.
How much they're in debt.
or how much they're in debt. Absolutely. So there's just so many things you don't know about how these images got put together that it's unfair to put that type of pressure on yourself to compare what's going on in a real life, in a real kitchen, in a real home, to things that you're seeing that are being put together online. Now, if you find inspiration and it makes you feel good to scroll through Instagram or go through on Pinterest or Facebook or any places that you go to for this type of content, just to enjoy or to get ideas for your own home, then go for it, because they are wonderful for that. They are wonderful if taken in the right mindset. So what we're saying today is if your mindset is not in the positive, it's making you feel negative about your home and therefore maybe yourself, and disallowing you to fall in love or stay in love with your home, then maybe unfollow some people, or maybe just don't go on there for a little while, and maybe put your phone down or close your computer and look around your house and think about maybe all the happy things that go on in it. Think about how the lights reflecting off something, or, oh, I inherited that piece of furniture, or something positive about your house. And the more positive things you think about it, the more love you're going to feel for it, and the better you're going to feel in it.
Well said, Kelly. I think that was very nicely put.
Great. So what are we defining today?
we are defining portiere. And the word portiere was first used in 1638, as far as the written records say, and that is a curtain hung in a doorway, which sounds kind of like an old-fashioned thing, but I think there is a current place for that these days. We actually took the door off of a laundry room because we changed out the washer dryer, and the newer size actually stuck out slightly past where the door was going to open. So we couldn't put a door there anymore. So I actually did this where the laundry room is. So this is something that you could do in that case. But, a lot of people are putting in the barn doors. And I'm thinking of cases where maybe you have a door to a bathroom and then a door to a closet, and all these doors kind of clanking together. Maybe a door to the bathroom is clanking. It just seems like people have a lot of this. So this is something, I don't recommend this on the entrance to a bathroom, but maybe you might want to put it on an entrance to a closet or something else. And you were talking about something similar, Kelly, putting the skirting underneath a countertop to block a view underneath. So I think the use of a curtain in a doorway or even under a countertop it's a nice way to go.
That made me laugh because you were like, I wouldn't use it for a bathroom. Now, it's not the
are you?
Well, sort of. It's not the door to our master bathroom, although that is a barn door style on track. But inside our master bath, there was just a little bump out where it was actually the former closet, because this was a bedroom that we made into the master bathroom, a tiny little bedroom. So this was the closet. So I made the closet where we put the toilet. So it's kind of like a WC, but there was no way you could put a door on it because then it would whack into the shower door. It's not a big bathroom at all. So I did hang on a tension rod. So up inside it, so you can't see it from the outside, there's a tension rod running across, and I hung a really beautiful piece of drapery, and I tied it back with actual chain that I bought at the hardware store. It looks really cool. It's like almost like a burnished.
Nice.
Yeah, it almost has an antique brass look to it. It's very cool. Because I wanted to differentiate it from looking like a curtain, because we don't close it. It's just to sort of soften that and give the sense of enclosure. Mm-hmm. So I guess that would... Can you pronounce the word again for me? Because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Portiere.
Portiere. Okay. Because I think I was saying portier in my mind. So portiere. So it gives a sense of portiere. And I really like that. It adds something. And, there's so many hard surfaces in a bathroom anyway. It was a nice opportunity to add some fabric. So I do have that in my house. I don't have it anyplace else, but I think it's a great way to differentiate the spaces. And I wonder if it was used in the past also for drafts and whatnot. So much more of a practical level.
Oh, and I think it would be beautifully done with a cream-colored fabric, to kind of a cream-colored linen, to kind of update it, whereas it seems like 200 years ago or 100 years ago, it might have been a large, heavy tapestry.
Right. That's how I picture in my mind, like something in like burgundy, right? Like something really heavy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's a good one. I didn't know that one at all. I didn't know what that was called. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off. Yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. My crush today is interesting, and you can use it for a lot of different purposes. Now, we're an Apple family, so we're a Mac family. There's the Apple tags. I think they were initially created to go in your luggage. You know, my husband travels internationally, at least now he does again, for work a lot. And there's always the worry, especially if you're connecting flights, like, where's my luggage? So you can put the Apple tag inside your luggage and you can track it. And
nice.
Yes. So we got a bunch. And then I guess he stumbled upon an article about how people were using these on their dog collars. So there's now a whole industry, of course, sprang up everywhere, but definitely on Amazon, with dog collars. We can slip this little Apple tag in there, so you'll know where your dog is all the time. So, you know, obviously a lot of people get their dogs microchipped. Our dogs are microchipped too, but this would be in addition to that, obviously, or if you had a big yard maybe, and if you were always looking for Rover or Fido somewhere in the bushes, you would know where they were.
I've heard of these tags before,
yeah,
but they required use of internet.
Well, no, because I can track my family members no matter where they are.
Well, that's from their phone, which has GPS built into it, but I assume this doesn't have its own.
No, but it does. It must, because it just comes up tracking your devices.
Well, I'm interested in looking into that. That's great.
Our dogs don't go out and run around the neighborhood by themselves, but you know, sometimes we can't find Eve because she's so tiny, and she'll go. She loves a little nook and cranny, a little crevasse. She's always looking for something to cuddle into.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's cute.
We call the powder room her office because she goes behind the toilet and she'll lay in there because it's probably nice and cool. And you're like, oh, there she is. So saves time.
I was going to ask how Eve was doing. I haven't heard about her in a long time.
She's doing great. All 9 pounds of her. She can squeeze into any little nook and cranny. So what's your crush?
Also technology.
Tech day.
I know. We were walking this summer while we were on vacation, and we heard a bird, and we were saying, I wonder what kind of bird that is. And I said, there's an app for that. Remember the old commercial? There's an app for that.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember hearing about an app, and I found it. It's the Merlin app. So I put it on my phone, and I recorded what we heard, and we found out that was an indigo bunting bird.
Well,
so it's pretty cool. So it's designed for beginning and intermediate bird watchers. So it's a bird ID tool. It's created by Cornell Lab of Ornithology in partnership with Birds in the Hand LLC. So they used thousands of volunteer citizen scientists and bird enthusiasts to record the sounds of different birds, and they identified what each bird was, so that when you record your sound that you're hearing, it tries to find the most similar sound in the database. And it has, I think, the largest inventory or database of these bird sounds. I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.